Hey everybody, Braden Dillon here with Summit Funding. I'm making this video today because I've recently helped a couple of clients out with reverse mortgage products. And before you hang up or stop this video, hear me out on these because I was a huge skeptic. I hadn't done them. I've been in the mortgage industry now for 11 years and I had never come across this product where I thought it was valuable. Didn't know too much about it. I knew they were a thing, but just never really dove in. And I had somebody approach me and they said, "Hey, I really want to do this. Can you help me?" And I thought about it and I almost referred it out. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give it a crack and see if I can help this person out. And what they were looking to do was they worked for years, never really gotten a 401k retirement set up in place, but they had a ton of equity in their home and they were living on social security and they wanted some additional money coming in to help um, you know fund their lifestyle, which wasn't by any means extravagant. It was just they were needing a little bit of help, and they thought the reverse mortgage might be the way to do it. So I ended up helping them out with that, and they were thrilled with the outcome. We got them $1,500 more in income per month, and they set it up so that it was only going to be dispersed for about 10 years. They ultimately wanted to sell that property, move into more of a retirement style facility at about 5 years, but we set it up so that it had a 10-year payment. At the end of that 10-year period, if they ended up holding that loan for the entirety, they could just sell that house and pay it off, or like they were intending on doing, paying it off at the 5-year mark after they sold it. In the past, reverse mortgages have gotten this really bad rap because I think there was a lot of truth to this too. There was probably some dishonest people in that space, but they're very safe loans now. The process, even for getting one started, you have to talk to a counselor. It's a whole process to make sure that the people that are receiving them are, you know, completely understanding all of the elements of them. So some of the cool features before I go on a whole ramble escapade. There's no required monthly payment on them. There's no income requirement, no minimum credit score requirement. You can't have recent late payments or things like that. There is some, requirements, but there's not FICO score driven. There's very broad ways of structuring there, so you can do it for the lifetime of the person living in the property. They can get a set monthly payment. You can set them up kind of like a HELOC, an equity line of credit. I'm helping a gentleman out with one of those right now. He's in his he's in this phase where he's wanting to start a business, and but he doesn't have really income currently. He's receiving Social Security and some other things, but enough to do a full typical refinance on his property that he owns doesn't work, and so he's doing a reverse mortgage. And so there's a bunch of different ways that you can get them done. You can have a term, a 10-year payment where there's a 5 or 10 year period, and there's just a bunch of different options for them. So if you know somebody, here's my request. If you are of age, and the required age is somebody in the household has to be 62 years old. So somebody on the mortgage, application has to be at least 62 years old, and they are needing subsidy for their current, living situation, or they're just looking for, they don't want to make their mortgage payment anymore. They've lived in the house for a number of years. It still has a bit of a mortgage payment on it, on the property, and that's just become too much for them to manage. Um, or there's somebody out there that's looking for some income to maybe do some renovations to the property. There's a whole slew of ways to structure these things to fix really almost any problem that somebody's facing at this stage in their life. So if you know somebody that could benefit, I'm happy to just give some information to that person to start. Like I said, it's a huge um, process of getting these even to a place where they make sense for people, because you have to go through different options that are available. They have to do a consultation course with a third party where they verify the different elements that could possibly come up. So there's a whole slew of elements to this thing. But if you have somebody that could benefit, please share this video with them, or share my contact information with them, or reach out to me directly and say, hey, I have my aunt or uncle or dad or mom could potentially use this, or hey, we've been thinking about this and this could be great for us as well. And just hear me out on it. I think it's a really good program. I think looking back, I probably could have done many, many more of these over the years, and they would have benefited people had I known what I know today. So, with that, I will let you go. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.